quick break.
Middle-aged, right?
How did they get that in there?
I don't understand it.
Oh God. I had to undo the zipper.
Okay, so I am at base camp and I just want to do a little experiment. So we've disturbed the top soil, like the dormant topsoil, probably like 1/4 of an inch, right? Raked leaves in order just to clear an area so there wasn't spiders and, you know, all kinds of little varmints like running through, and just to keep a nice area to where I could see where I was stepping, all the things. Wanted to say that this is just an experiment. I may or may not be doing this right, but I'm kind of just like throw glitter at it and see if it sticks. So I wanted to start with a tiger's eye mix of sunflowers, these things called lacy Bacalea, and just see what kind of happens. It says 60 days to flower. It does not say to plant it in the winter. We don't care. We're gonna just kind of break some rules and see what happens on certain things. And we've made our first like landmark on the property. This is I'm gonna go back in with masonry stone on this, and I'm going to make this a permanent structure on the land as much as possible, just to kind of commemorate where we started from. I want to be able to have a spot where we come back and we visit and we say, you know, on hard days, like, look how far we've come. Gosh, I'm about to cry. So with that, I wanted to take no longer, you know, to wait than throwing down some seeds, seeing what happens, and you know, we're going to be here often enough over the next couple of weeks. Oh my God, I either have like ants on my butt or just like little thorn thingies. But we're going to be here enough over the next couple of weeks that I can kind of like babysit this. If I need to put up a little bit of a, you know, like almost a greenhouse over it or something, I can. But really, I kind of just want to see what happens. These are beautiful. I've never seen this before, and it's the Seeds of Change, Goodness from the Ground Up. 100% certified organic is the brand. I love it because this one is going to be a pollinator variety, and it provides nectar and pollen to bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. I'm about that life. With the Tiger's Eye Mix sunflower, I just know that it's a pollinator variety as well, but it's also like really, it's going to possibly be tall, right? So I'm trying to plan it to plant in this back corner over here. This pop-up structure is not going to always be here. And part of it's broken, so we ended up, and we couldn't find our cover for it. We've had too many beach adventures with this, going down to the beach in Texas and enjoying it. So, but it was good. It's been a good thing to hang stuff on, fly sticking paper, overalls that were dirty and stinky, all those things. So I just kind of wanted to take a moment before I do this. My idea was, besides just throwing it out there, I don't want to disturb the natural process of things too much, but I do want to give it a little bit of a good chance. So I got some potting soil from the Tractor Supply. I got the seeds, gonna pour it, and then I'll water it every once in a while and see what happens. Who knows? Nothing could happen, but there's not anything bad that can come of putting something good into the soil.
Well, hello. Here behind me, as you can see, they have dropped off our storage container. It is a 20-foot by 8. And I don't really know how wide it is, but I know that he was having some trouble getting it up the hill, and he dropped it where he could. And shout out to that guy. He worked the best he could with what we had. Now it is going down the hill and it needs to be leveled out. So what I plan on doing is taking my truck jack rather, and jacking it up so that it's level. They're only about 4,000 pounds. That jack can probably pick up way more than that. And then I'm going to take some of these bigger, flatter stones we found here on our land and stabilizers. So it should work out just fine. When the guy was here, there was a tree in the way, so I had to cut it off. I cut it as low as I possibly could, but there is still a stump there, so it is kind of stuck on a stump, which is actually not a problem with me, because it'll keep it from moving down the hill. But I do want to level it out because walking in there is a little wonky and it shouldn't take much to do so. All right, let's see how it goes. Well, got a dozer. There he goes.
That's gonna take them out anyway, dude.
Huh?
Well, that'll take them out anyway to put your road up through there.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to come out.
The container?
No, the trees right there.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that anyway. Tell you what, seeing this dozer run over these trees like they ain't nothing while I've been toiling and working for what seems like years, I ain't gonna lie to you. Makes it easy. Chain and level out the level out the road. Drop of the bucket ain't nothing. Alright, just to let you guys know, the car jack for the shipping container, it worked flawlessly. I believe that jack of mine is a 4.5 ton bottle jack. It was perfect. It was well within the realm of my control, and you could see on the video that I was digging down. That's just so I could fit the jack underneath, and it jacked it up pretty good to the point where I could put rocks underneath it and jack it up further if I needed. And once I got it level, it was done deal. So if you're gonna get a shipping container, if that is of interest to you, it is a good, easy way to level it out. Just get your car jack. Most cars come with a jack, and you can level it out that way. And then the other footage of the bulldozer, I didn't get a chance to say very much about that either. It is a brisk Friday morning. I've got a couple things that I want to get done today. I woke up very early, and I have been collecting stone. for the purpose of which I will show you in just a moment. Basically what it comes down to is we have issues with drainage. Back behind me, I'm actually in the truck. You can back behind me is our driveway that goes up there to the pad site. When they made the pad site, they made it to where there's a trench on the backside for water to drain off the pad site. That way, whatever you have there isn't flooded, doesn't get all mushy, and, you know, dries out pretty quick. The issue is when you drive over the ditch, which we have, just trying to get turned around or trying to get organized up there, it compromises the drainage. And what ends up happening is the water goes down the driveway. Well, that's not a huge issue except for the end of the driveway. The material that keeps my culvert in place is the shale. And shale sets up pretty good and it doesn't move. But with the volume of water moving down the driveway, it's starting to wash away. So that's an issue. That's a drainage issue. The water should drain to the sides of where you drive and hit the ditch and go out. And up top, I have tried to mitigate that drainage problem with some of the black drainage pipe, which will go down out of the ditch and into the woods. However, we still have an issue with drainage, with water coming down the driveway. So instead of worrying about what's going on up top, this time I'm going to worry about what's going down at the bottom. And I have been collecting stone for that reason. Now the plan is simple. I've been speaking with a few different people about how to deal with this issue. And when you have a culvert like this, or yeah, there's one like this, you can put concrete forms around it, which will keep it in place. Which will keep it in place. Or I figure I could use stone. It's free, or rather it's already been purchased, and I could utilize it, and I think it'll look nice. And then eventually I think maybe filling in the whole area with stone and making like a little bridge would be ideal. So this is the stone that I've collected, and wow, it's a lot. One of the interesting things about this stone is while I was collecting it, I started to form just a little wall, and it's as if the stone has already been formed into a wall in some places. I don't know if you can see here where there's a little point and then it goes in. But it already looks like a wall, and I stacked it there for you to see. So it should be pretty doable. But I thought that was interesting how the stone kind of was already kind of fitting together. I don't plan on using any kind of mortar or concrete to keep it in place. Hopefully the shape of the stone and wedging it in the right way will keep it there. If that still becomes an issue, I do have mortar and I'll mortar it into place. But I have stacked stone down there before and it's generally stayed there. The water doesn't move it down there as often. And I'm hoping that that will be the case, because I really don't want to mortar anything else into place in case I ruin it the same way I ruined the mailbox. So that's the plan for today. Hopefully that will keep the shale from draining out, keep my culvert in place, and it'll look pretty. And then it'll give us some time to deal with the drainage issue at the top. As you can see, the pipe right there going in from that corner and out, and actually kind of made a rock wall Roman style aqueduct thing over here, which actually makes the water go out that way instead of here where it was going. And of course, another pile of shale, which I haven't spread yet. I need to spread that out. I don't know what good it's going to do at this point, especially over here where it's basically a swamp. But hopefully, if we can continue to mitigate the drainage issues, it'll eventually all work together. So that's the plan for today. Also, I have been trying to get rid of this stump. It's one of the first trees we cut down when we got here. There's a big tree, probably the biggest tree I've cut down. Maybe I think there might be one more down there. And the stump is here, and it's like dead center in the middle of the driveway. And I've been lighting a bunch of fires on it to get rid of it. I know there's other ways, there's chemicals, potassium nitrate and stuff, but I was told that you could use diesel. And that's cheap. So I'm gonna go get a gallon of diesel later, or two, and get rid of some of these stumps. Well, hopefully get rid of some of these stumps. Drill down in them and pour some diesel in. And hopefully it will burn it out of here, because I'm sick of running over it. And I've got a lot more stumps that I need to get rid of, and I would like a cheap, effective way without renting a grinder or digging them up or trying to pull them out with my truck, which is probably a near impossibility. I tried to pull one up that was about this size. Did not happen. So, bye. Alright y'all, I'm done with my little project for now. I'm pretty pleased with the results. Skadoosh. There's room for improvement. Pardon the neighbors. There's room for improvement. I could even see it going all the way up. You know, up the driveway. Maybe into some sort of gate. Mailbox over there on the edge. But I'm pretty pleased. Hopefully it'll keep the shale on the driveway and not run off into the ditch. That's all I can hope for. I did dig this ditch out a little bit too. Felt it kind of drained. But ultimately I think the city guys or county guys or whoever is in charge out here is going to have to get out here with a backhoe and dig those ditches, because it's not draining as well as I would like it to. And I think it's because the culvert is slightly up, which could be my fault. But who knows?